And through my entire life, you can say that I was a God of the gap person. You know, I thought God created everything when I was a really, really little kid until I learned about dinosaurs and things like that. You know, okay, so God's just guiding evolution. I thought God created the Big Bang, and now there's all these multiverse and string theory ideas. I also always really liked the whole Hindu idea of, you know, universe expanding and contracting and like multiple big bangs. And I can't really speak for that now. I don't know. Now I know I don't know nearly enough about astronomy or, you know, fundamental physics to have an opinion. I mean, I have an opinion, but it's not my place to force it on others. You know, so I started learning about that, and then I figured, you know, well, we don't know how the first life came about. We all know cells came from other cells. Where did the first cell come from? You know, so I figured, oh, you know, maybe God just did that. And then I learned about abiogenesis in, you know, biochemical terms. And so God just keeps getting smaller and smaller, and like, as a Gods of the Gap kind of person, where does God continue to fit? You know, maybe he is doing all these natural processes, but he's still interfering in our lives. But no, prayer isn't real. It doesn't work. Where does that leave God? And then I can vividly remember one day coming home from school. I had watched some video because I've subscribed to people at the time. I can't for the life of me remember what that video was. But I remember sitting there and thinking, God doesn't exist. And it was like the strangest feeling. It was like my entire world collapsed, and it was like I was born again. That's an interesting phrase that came to me. But it felt like I was seeing the world for the first time, like God doesn't exist. And I physically felt pain at saying that, because I still had the guilt, I still had the fear of hell in me. You know, that was probably the second to last thing I shook. You know, after that was the fear of the hope of heaven, which I'm sure anyone who was not born an atheist and became one understands what I'm talking about. Like, it's hard to get rid of the guilt that says you're going to hell for thinking this. But once you're past that, you still think, you know, I'm a good person, maybe I'll go to heaven. And you just got to get rid of that. It just doesn't fit with everything else you're thinking. It's illogical to not believe in a God, to not believe in prayer, to not believe in hell, but to believe in heaven, you know. And, you know, when I first realized to myself that I don't believe in God, that it was the strangest feeling, because I remember after that I was just seeing the world as a completely different place, and I don't even have words for it now. But I do remember at the time, it took me forever, for the longest time, to not feel physical pain at the thought of the word atheist. Like, I couldn't watch YouTube videos that said the word atheist. I mean, I did, but I felt horrible every time they said it. It was like, oh, there's that word again. And I think it came because my mom uses the word as she intends to use the word atheist as an insult, like the worst insult you could possibly give someone. Like, you know, some people are like, of the devil, you know, like to talk about people they don't like. No, my mom's like, she thinks that atheists are the most deplorable scum on this planet. So it took me forever. And honestly, I don't know if you can tell, it's actually getting easier for me to say the word atheist out loud in this video series, because I can probably count on my fingers and toes the number of people I've known personally, you know, like not through the internet, that know I'm an atheist. So I don't say that word very often, and it's still very odd to me, after being an atheist for a year and a half, not being able to say it. And maybe that's the last thing I have to shake off, the guilt of being an atheist in a Christian society. Like, I can think it just fine. It actually took me a long time to be able to write it too. I mean, it was just that guilt that had been drilled into me for the longest time. It's okay if you're Hindu or Buddhist or Muslim or Islam or Muslim or Jewish or another kind of Christian. It's okay as long as you believe in a God. Because the moment you don't believe in a God, you're turning away from everything and you're totally screwing yourself over and you were deplorable. There is no helping you. And it's very, very hard to get over that. So I'm also hoping to use YouTube to do this, because if I if my parents confront me about this, I don't want to sound like I'm timid or ashamed, because now, like, I'm still on YouTube watching all these videos under another channel. I started a vlog on that channel, and I don't want people I know in my personal life who are watching my vlog to be aware of these videos. And I don't want to sound ashamed, because I'm not ashamed. I'm prouder than I've ever been before. I mean, did you hear that apparently the non-religious sector, the non-religion population, is actually the only growing demographic in all 50 states, and I think that's brilliant. I'm glad for that. I'm mildly anti-religious. I'm not going to confront you face to face, but I'll confront you on the internet. I won't confront you if you're my family or my friend, or but I can still be completely against everything you stand for. But I've been there, I've been there. I know it's a long process. I know it's a very difficult process. I know a lot of people don't ever want to go down that. I was talking to a Christian at the beginning of the school year, so like August 2009, because I was a starving college kid. I didn't know how to get to Publix, and they were offering free food. So it was like, I went with my other Roman Catholic friend who, she's apathetic, really. So we went to this non-denominational Christian worship service, and afterwards, after they gave us the free food, we were like discussing things. And I was saying, trying to not let on about what I was, I pretended to be Roman Catholic, but looking for another church, so they would let me in and be nice to me. I was saying that, it's really important to re-examine your faith. And, if you don't ever step outside of your faith and re-examine it and come back to it, you'll never be strong. And this one girl, who actually was a young earth creationist, surprise, she got wide-eyed and terrified, like I was speaking the demon's language or something. Like, she completely disagreed with me. And, honestly, if you are religious, I do think that being able to examine your faith does make your faith stronger. I went through that. I know how that is. And if you can look at all the evidence and somehow see how it all works together, still within your religion, then clearly your religion is stronger. It's not for the best of society if your religion is stronger through argument, but if you're just looking for your own sanity, it's better. Because if you hide yourself in a tiny little bubble for your entire life, the moment something completely alien comes towards you, you're just going to shatter. If you've been exposed to different things, if you've had Muslim friends, if you've had Jewish friends, if you've had Hindu friends, if you've had atheist friends, if you've had people in your life with different experiences, and you know what their lives are like, and you understand them, you understand the science, you understand the history of your own religion, and you're still okay with believing, then you're going to keep your sanity. You are going to be able to function in the real world with your faith. And, if you ever find yourself going towards agnosticism, deism, pantheism, atheism, whatever, you're not going to crumble. You're going to have the mental capacity to look at your own faith without freaking out.